What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So the last time you were in the garage, we were finishing up the cabinets. I just want to show you what I added since then. I added some bar seats here. These are some cheap type of leather, but they're nice and they blend in with the floor pretty good with the red theme that I was going with. So I added 4 stools and I added the refrigerator. So in the refrigerator, we have some beverages in here. So if I have any company, somebody can just crack open a cold one. And I added a matching coffee maker. So if anybody comes over early in the morning and they're helping with projects, they're able to just pop in a little K-cup and get their juices going with the coffee. So last year when I tried to wrap the car, some of the panels actually came out really good. But once I got to the actual hood, when I was using the knifeless tape, I really couldn't get this area flush in there. I mean, it looked okay, but the way that cars are looked at a car show, it would look like crap. So I didn't want to deal with that. I ended up leaving the car parked in the garage in pieces, and I didn't bring it to the first RX-7 show down South Jersey at one of the racetracks down there. So I just actually stayed home that day. I didn't even drive down there. I just ended up staying home. I was tired, I was exhausted. I was up till 6 o'clock in the morning, and I had to leave the house by 7 o'clock to get down to the show. So I just told my friends I wasn't going. I was just done, and I missed a really good show. So I was really upset about that. But I ended up going to the Pocono track where Rotary Spirit, they have like they started these meets with Amara, and they invited me up there, and I didn't have any of my RX-7s done, but I had the Eclipse done, and they allowed me to show up in my Eclipse, participate in the Rotary Spirit parades and everything like that, because Jeff, Ivan, and Danny, they all know that I have Mazdas and everything like that, so they didn't give me a problem with showing up with my Mazda with Dion. I had to go in the back of the line. I'm not gonna front. I had to go in the back. I didn't want to ruin any pictures or anything like that, but it was a great show. But I want to participate in this one with one of my Mazdas. So my FD is actually, the motor is dropped in, everything is getting put in as we speak. It should be turned on actually this weekend, but I'm not counting on having that car at the car show. I just want to have a backup plan. So that's why I want to get this car looking right. Last year I wanted to actually paint the car, but I ran out of time. So I said, you know what, let me just throw some wrap on there, thinking I was gonna have enough time to just wrap it. Wrapping is pretty tough. I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, if you haven't done it before, start off by doing little things like wrapping a mirror, wrapping a roof, wrapping a hood. I called a couple body shops to see what they would do with painting this car. A lot of them are booked out all the way to September, October, and that's not gonna work for me right now. So I need this car painted in the next 2 weeks. And I know a lot of you are gonna cringe on this, but I've heard good and bad things, but I'm gonna be bringing my car to Maaco. So I talked to the manager over there, Miguel. He seems like a really pleasant guy, and he explained everything to me. I read a lot of good reviews about how he handles the workers over there that are doing the work. And I just heard good things. He showed me examples, and I told him exactly what I wanted with the paint and what color I wanted to do. And he said we can do it. So they were the shop that would fit me in and get this car painted. So what I'm gonna be doing, which I already started doing, I'm gonna be prepping the car by taking off like these moldings. I took off the lip. I took off some of the weather stripping. I'm gonna be taking off the convertible top here. I'm gonna take the tail lights out. I already took the gas door out because I want all this painted. I want everything painted. I want a good paint job on this. So I've heard and read good things about if you actually prep the car, take things off that you don't want overspray on, the paint job can come out really good. So you can see over here where when I took off the wrap, it wasn't too kind to my base coat. I forgot to heat the wrap up before I started removing. So I think I was thinking that you can just rip it off, my dumb ass, and I just actually fucked up the paint on the original paint on the car. So anyway, they're gonna sand everything down, and I opted to get one of the better levels of paint with base coat and clear coat. Even though the guy came out and he told me, you know, he's gonna be doing 3 coats and 2 base coats, and then the last coat will be base and clear. And I wasn't too happy about that. And he said, oh, unless you want to get the more expensive one. So that's why I opted to get the more expensive one, where I can have 3 layers of clear coat, and I told them I just want to have something thick enough where I'm going to be able to have somebody wet sand it and buff this out so it can be a nice, clean, shiny look. That's what I'm gunning for. So I want this car to look nice. I don't want a crappy paint job, even though people say you're bringing it to Maaco, you're going to get a crappy paint job. I believe they can get this car in the right fashion that I want to have it at. It's not going to be one of those SEMA cars. I just want to have it somewhere where I can actually bring this to local shows and just show the rotary spirit, basically. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to get this convertible top off, and we're going to get this all set up so we can drop the car off today and get it down to Maaco. And they said they can knock this out in about a week. And let's just cross our fingers and hope it comes out nice. Let's get to it. My girls, so all of them are happy. I just got the phone call, the car's all done. Look at CD in the back. So, all right, so I got the phone call. It's been roughly about 4 weeks. The car is completely done, so I'm going to pick up the car. So we're gonna see what's up and see what they did. See you in a little bit. Yeah, it looks really good. Got the door jambs painted too. Oh yeah. Door jambs look good. So I'm driving and I'm hearing something clicking. And I forgot my exhaust clicks a little bit where it broke off. And thank God I came out because I was driving home. Tail lights and no license plate. So I have to put those on. All right, so we're back into the garage. Car safely home. I'm so happy I actually got outside the car and realized I didn't have any taillights or license plate on, because that could have been really bad. Car could have been towed and whatever. But anyway, we're home. The car looks really good. I mean, to me, Maaco did their thing, man. I mean, this was short timing. They came through and they actually painted this car and it looks like a car again. It's not mismatched whites with some paint peeling off here and there. It's not SEMA worthy, but it is a car that I can go to some local meets and just cruise around with and enjoy the convertible in the summertime. So let me just spin you guys around and let you show you. All right, so besides the top looking horrible because I still have to replace that, the car looks really good. I mean, like I said, Maaco really did their thing. Here and there you can see a little bit, imperfections, but this car looks fabulous. Just the way it looks. So from the last video you saw, I removed all the panel trim from the fender, door trim, and the rear quarter panel. Removed that. I removed the gas cap. I removed all the rubber seals around the door, inside the door, because I did get the door jambs painted, and that even came out really good. Took out the tail lights. I had to put them in to get home, but I took out everything possible that I could think of that they could get overspray on, and I think the paint job came out killer, man. For as quickly as they did this and the price range that I was in, I think they knocked it out of the park. They did all the jambs of the trunk, along with the insides of the taillights, because I had the taillights taken out so they can get good coverage all in there. And me, by removing a lot of things, I think the paint job came out really nice. I mean, even with the convertible top, I have to still replace this, but I even removed all the bolts and everything so I can pull this up so they can get good coverage around here. So everything gets wrapped around. You can see down the side of the driver's side. There are some things I think they could have done better, like mask. I think they could have masked a little bit better. You can see how a little bit overspray got in here from when they were doing the door jambs and down here. But this can be wiped off. That's just coming off with just my finger. Now I can use something like Goof Off or whatever just to get that overspray off over here. And there's dusting on top of the dash, which is not bad and it's not terrible, but still I think they could have masked a little bit better. But I'm not worried about how it looks under here, even though I did take off the door panels because I wanted them to get all in here with the door and the door jambs. So it looks pretty good. See right here, a little overspray on this sill. I didn't want to take off these door sills because I figured they would take it off themselves and put it right back on, like around the windshield. I didn't want to have to do that because I didn't want to break anything. So you can see like there's a little overspray, but that's not terrible. Like I said, it's not terrible. That's nothing that I can't clean up. So like I said, Maaco did their thing. I know a lot of people on the internet, they have some type of, there's a lot of negative comments out there about Maaco. And I know, I'm not saying that they're not true, because I know there's some Maacos are different than others. But the one that's in my area, they did a pretty good job. So whoever's painted this car, if you're watching, if you're the guy that painted my car, I'm gonna give you a thumbs up. You did an excellent job. Just comment on the video if you are watching. I just wanna let everybody recognize you, and maybe you can paint their cars too. So anyway, all the pieces are over here that still need to be put on the car, like the front lip, gas cap, all the moldings, the turbo scoop. Now I'm going to talk about the turbo scoop. It was crazy. When I went to drop off this car, I didn't realize it from the last time when I actually painted the hood with the rattle can. I left the screws loose underneath the bonnet. I'm saying bonnet because I was just watching a YouTube video of some RX-7s overseas, and I'm saying bonnet. Hood. So anyway, I left the screws underneath the hood a little loose, and when I was driving on Route 80, which is a crazy highway, the hood scoop flew over the car, landed in the middle of the highway. Now this is a 4-lane highway. People do 80+ miles per hour on here. And I pulled over quick as I could because I know this hood scoop is really hard to find unless you actually buy the whole hood. And I don't know why, I was thinking to get out and run and get this freaking hood out of the middle of 80. And Route 80 is just insane. So I backed up. And once I backed up and I saw the hood scoop, a tractor trailer ran it over. And I said, dude, is this worth your life, man? Come on now, you got kids. So anyway, the hood scoop, I lost the hood scoop. I was fortunate enough, I have 2 2nd-gen Turbo 2 hoods. So my black car, Bane, which is gonna be getting worked on shortly, in a couple more weeks, that has a Turbo 2 scoop. So I decided just to remove it from there and bring it to the paint shop along with this car and get it painted. And once I went to go pick up the car the first time with my nephew, I went to pick up the car and I popped the hood. The hood underneath, I already paid for the door jamb to get painted and underneath the hood. And underneath the hood wasn't painted, it was still red. So when the manager came back out, he saw me looking under the hood and he knew exactly what I was looking at. He said, they didn't paint underneath the hood, did they? I said, no, and my scoop that I had dropped off, they didn't paint that either. So he made quick work of it. He talked to the painter. The painter actually stayed late that night, and he ended up painting underneath the hood and the scoop. So let me just show you underneath the hood first. So if you remember what the hood looked like underneath before, it was completely red, chips and everything. Now it looks like the hood is like brand new. They did a really good job. Of course, like I said, a little bit of the masking could have been a little better, but that's something that I can clean off, this little rubber turbo scoop garment. So what I have planned for the engine bay, that wasn't gonna get painted anyway because I have all this stuff in here. But I plan on either doing a Turbo 2 swap or Bridgeport in this motor, or possibly doing an REW 3rd-gen swap in here. Now, seeing if it withstands up to the weather and the climate, this car is going to be actually garage kept. So I'll give a review on this paint job in a later time. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It always helps the algorithm in this channel. And if you want to follow my other projects coming along, my FD is coming home next week. So we're going to be getting that going. And FD is finally done. I wish I could post some footage of it, but we don't want to ruin some content that's going to be coming up. So, but overall, the car looks good. I'm going to get this piece together. And the next video, you're going to see all the parts on, and we're going to be prepping this for 7's Day. And we're going to head down in the convertible. Hopefully the weather is good so I can have the top dropped. And that's about it. And always, love and peace.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, have me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll,